Well, I guess I'm back to posting. Not like if I ever posted here, right? But oh well. Last time I posted was my school project or my school exam for that class, and I guess today we're doing a sketchbook tour. Not for class or anything, but I just wanted to show, I guess, everybody my sketchbook. Now, right here I have my sketchbook, and then over here I have some of my acrylic paintings. Now, I'll be showing these as well, since technically, well, they're not part of the sketchbook, but I worked on them while I was still working on the sketchbook, so I'll be showing them. And I guess I'll tell you about my OCs as well. I guess for now I'll just start off with their names and stuff. So this one's pretty. I don't know, it looks so nice. I'll give you guys like a kind of like a full thing. There you go. So first of all, we start off with this guy in the center. This one. His name is Red or RG, either or, right? Now, this is his hair. It's not ears. Now, why is his hair like that? Honestly, I don't know. One day I was like, you know what? This seems like a great hairstyle. Why did I choose micro bangs? I don't know, but don't worry about it. And then up next, this is his smaller brother. Yeah. And his name is Diamante. And then on this side, we have Fernando, Fernand, Benny, and Bravient. Now, these are not, well, these are, yeah, they're not self-harm scars, they're just battle scars. Now, why am I calling them battle scars? Well, I'm gonna try not, like, go on board about lore and stuff. Just because I do plan on, like, this YouTube channel to, like, start animating, like, the whole story and things and have episodes and stuff like that. So I try not to go too much in depth. Right? But basically, my OCs are part of, like, this world. I guess you could call it... They're not human. I know they look like humans, but I guess it's more of... They were domesticated to look like humans, and along the lines they evolved to look like humans, and they can shift into like animals and stuff like that. We'll go into that later on if you guys are interested and so on. Nah, the animals are like some animals that I've made up or like that are inspired of things. They shift into the animals, right? Oh well, I feel like I'm doing a bad job at explaining, but you know what? It's my first video. And basically they go to war, they shift and stuff like that, so that's why he has them like that. So yeah. Up next we have this one. This one's actually more recent. This one's like almost a year ago, I believe. Yeah. It's on, I made it on 2024. Now we have this one. Here we have Red again. Actually, these two, they dye their hair because like each, like, if you wear like a specific color, like, okay, my bad. So basically you get classified into colors. Like, for example, he's more on the aggressive side. That's why he wears like a red. And this guy, he's considered like, I guess, useless. So he's like color matched to this color. Benny's yellow, but he's a natural blonde. Well, he's more like a golden blonde, but coincidentally, he's like yellow on yellow. Bravient is more of a maroon color. And then Fernando and Fernand are just black. Like the color, you know? Alright, now let's go back here. So, in here is the Red's hair dye. Like, his hair dye kind of faded away, so now it's like back to... It's kind of fading back to red. And then this guy that's standing next to him is Uzi. So, yeah. Uzi... What can I tell you about Uzi? Well, right now, there's not much, like, I want to tell you yet. But he's basically Red's friend. So, that's that. And then, I decided to show this one just because I didn't really finish it. Well, no, I decided to show it just because I know I'm not going to finish it, really. But that's that. And here's Benny. He's eating an eyeball. Maybe I'll finish this one because it does look nice, but I'm not sure. And then here we have Red. He's clear. He doesn't get along with Benny, but ironically they're best friends. I don't know. All right, I guess we can start off by getting into the actual sketchbook. Now, some of the ones I have here, I have them, like I have the sketch or just the line, like not the line art, just like in pencil. And then if you go on to my Instagram, which is the same username as here, Relic.carcass, you can see some of them finished, but it's been like a while, so you have to like scroll down. But not that much. Oh yeah, I always skip the first page. I'm not sure why, but I like to skip it. I guess good luck. So I guess we start off, I guess kind of like a little comic or like draft. We have, oh, they're warm-ups. They're warm-ups. Here we have Bravian, and then Benny and Red. He's like, I don't know, choking him or something. Oh, this looks so funny. And then over here is just like that one like trend or like audio trend that was like that was trending at the time. The sometimes I don't know why I bite or whatever. I was basically gonna do it. I was gonna animate it. I'll let you see. It's very nice. Oh yeah, he just casually snuggling inside a rib cage. I don't know. Look at this. Oh, I thought this was funny. Just take your meds. You're here for a reason. So, oh, I guess since to explain this a little further, like their military experiments and stuff. Red, like, let me show you back the picture. This guy, Red, right? He kind of signed up to like, not voluntarily. He had to do it. He was kind of like, I guess, in a way, getting blackmailed or whatever. So he signed up to experiment on him, and he kind of, with all the experience and stuff, he kind of went like crazy. So here's Bravian, just telling him to take his meds or whatever. Oh wait, it was this one, and then this one. Yeah, he's all beat up here. And then over here we just have a small doodle. Well, I don't think it'll be a doodle, right? Because it's like, it's not a doodle. We have Red and Benny. They're talking, and he's like, "Oh my God, shut up already!" And he's like, "Wee, wee, 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 wee." And then here we have, I think here I was like doing like anatomy. Well, I guess like anatomy studies basically. Here we have Red, and oh, let me show you his grippers. I'm sorry. So here, as you can see, Red, like, you see this little thing. This is supposed to be like a metal. It's like, you know how heels are that are like this, right? Like, you know what I mean? He kind of has that, like that, the shape or like the base of made out of metal, but no heel, and he has it like stapled or surgically applied to his feet to limit what he can do and not. Now let me tell you, it doesn't really work, I guess, but still. Well, no, it does work, because as you can imagine, attaching metal like in a partly way to your feet and bones, like your bones kind of hurt and stuff, you know. It's because like, I don't know how to explain this yet, but I do know. Maybe I'm just camera shy, who knows. Oh well, let's continue. Here we have Red. He's just showering. Oh, and like they're kind of like animals and stuff. One thing that I like adding, besides, as I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's like the nose, I kind of do like a flat triangle and stuff like that, as you can see here or here. I'd like to do that for like this type of, oh, actually no, I just remembered. They're, since, well, they humans, right? They call them human. No. Oh my God. Well, hold up. Give me a second. Never mind. Wait. Yeah, no, never mind. I can't pronounce it right now. But I usually can. Like this one, I have it actually on my Instagram, fully colored and stuff. It's just basically, oh wait, I didn't finish telling you. Alright, so as you can see, like, he has like fur that usually like stops like around like the shoulder length and stuff. It's just like little fluff. And in this case, due to like Red's type of animal, which I call it a relic, or relics with an X at the end, they have like bones sticking, or like part of their spinal cord sticking out like this. This is actually, I believe this is one of the first drawings that I started like adding this part to the relics, so that's pretty neat. Well, I think it's pretty neat. And then here's him. Now the reason he's doing this because he originally has like a bunch of scars all around him, but right now I don't have them. Well, I don't have them here, but if you go over to my Instagram, I'll link it down in the description, or I'll probably put it under my YouTube description, one of those two, but either way, it's the same username as here. Oh, alright. And then here's another one. This one was fully colored in my not in my sketchbook, in my Instagram. Here we have Red. He's kind of annoyed. Oh my god, I draw very faintly, so I'll just zoom in here so you can see. And he's just like, oh, don't look at me. And then this bitch is like, oh, look, wait, I got you this new color or whatever. I don't know. Oh, look. Here's Red, and he's just like, oh. Because before, like, the scars he had, like, burnt him. And then he's like, the burning sensation is gone or whatever. And he kind of just snaps at it and just looks at Benny. He's like, what did you do? And then Benny arm. I was gonna say a pillow, but no, that's his clothes, because he's giving him clothes because he's naked. Well, I don't know why he's not naked here, but he's supposed to be naked. Alright, let's see. And then over here was doing a little sketch with them in like military clothes and stuff. And now somewhere in the arc, right, Red gets really injured. This guy's like, hold on a bit, we're almost there, because like they have to go back to base, because they originally were just gonna leave Red to just die, but he was like, no, I can't do this to you, right? So he takes him. However, I like his confidence, because like, well, no, they do make it, right? But they kind of live like let's say like right here there's like an island, and there's like a big ocean, and then there's like the other mainland over here where they were at war, so they have to cross like an ocean and stuff. But he gets there, trust me, with like that. Don't worry about it right now. And then here I have another little sketch of Fernando. Look at him. Alright. Oh, well, I guess the drawing is gone. Oh, look. And then here I was drawing little dogs or whatever. Oh, look. And then here's a continuation to over here where he was naked. He's like, oh, you know what? And then he turns around, and then this is like the taser things that they use. Is like a wand. And then Benny's like, this is Braven, right? He's telling Braven, you good? Like, why are you shaky? And he's like he doesn't necessarily turn around, but he's just like, Red, what are you doing that you're like freaking out, Braven, or whatever? And then there's Braven. He's like scared or terrified. Oh, well, before I turn it on, he was terrified just because like yeah, they wear like kind of like these shock collars in a way, or sometimes it could be a harness and stuff, but it's basically like, for example, yeah, actually let me show you back to this one, because actually now that we're getting into that, I'll tell you that like relics, well, in case this relics, right, relics are like shapeshifters in a way, and Red in this occasion, he's what's considered a wild animal, right? A wild animal, just because he's not really domesticated like these guys or like these other, right? So at the end of the day, he's a shapeshifter when he, because like the only reason why he like went into all this whole thing is because he met Benny. And then he saw how Benny looked, so he kind of shifted like with all these features and stuff. And one of the main things that you can like in the whole story that you can tell is that wild animals are like some that are like, they're all domesticated, right? but some that are a bit more wilder side, or they're not as much as human than animal, they tend to have whiskers like here on top of the eyebrows. So that's that. So some of, I guess, the wild animals, like in this case, I guess we can just keep showing you Red, right? He, like, in a way, what's it called? In a way, how do I explain this to you? In a way, the shock is there because he can't really control himself. That's why he qualifies as Red. Like, well, besides his name being Red, right? But like the color they added him to, right, would have to be red, because he's uncontrollable. Which also, well, I don't have, well, we'll get to there, but they usually have like these uniforms and stuff that tells them like, oh, like they qualified this and this and that, right? Like that when you look at someone, you're like, oh, I have to worry about this, I don't have to worry about that. Like for example, if you see this guy wearing this like electric blue, you'd be like, oh, it's like a useless animal, or like a useless domestic that basically, oh, you know, who cares, he's not relevant to the society or whatever, you know. And this guy, you'll be like, oh, I have to be careful. Or like, I guess in a way you could, they could be racist, like, oh, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like you could be walking with their like little kid, and then they see like this guy like full on red, and then in the uniform, yeah, I don't have the number. In the uniform, well, I don't think I have a drawing here, or we'll get to there eventually, but his uniform is also like a red, and then has zigzag to like resemble that he's unstable. And that's why over here he's wearing a collar like that. He just doesn't like fully go and attack them and stuff like that. So I hope that makes sense. So here, like, since although he doesn't really need it, but sometimes he's just agitated, he needs it. Let me switch back. Like here, he didn't have it because he was just freshly out of surgery for like to help him with the scars he always had, because the scars caused him like, it was like, it gave him like a burning sensation, but they didn't really know because he kind of wears like well, he wears it here. It's kind of like a compression sort of thing that helped him like help the scars not agitate him and stuff like that. Or at least he found out that that little thing, or like the shirt he used, helped to like relieve that sensation. And then he didn't find out till later, or Benny found out. He's like, oh, well, why didn't you me? And then he fixed it. So that's that. So like he didn't have his color, and he doesn't like, it's very insecure when people see him with like his scars and stuff, so he just lashes out and stuff. And like, well, there's two people that just saw his, like him, like his scars and stuff like that, and like he was trying to cover them over here. I was figured it over there, and like, yeah, she's like, what are you doing? But I didn't draw it because I already moved on over here. But he was basically about to lash into these guys. And then over here, this is more of, well, I guess, okay, I guess this is, I'll give you a like one of them sensitive warnings or whatever, because Benny here, I guess, like unconsensual stuff happened, right? So there's that. You can skip a little, but there's not really, well, never mind, I take it back. Yeah, I guess it's not really graphic or anything, but here's him, here's Benny, he's waking up. And basically, well, I guess I could say that this is before the surgery over here, because for Red, right, he doesn't, when it's the Benny performs when Benny performs surgeries on him, sometimes he has to do it without anesthesia. And basically Benny offered like someone that, like, what's it called, that goes like that manages the anesthesia. He's like, you know what, I'll sleep with you and you give me some anesthesia, and something like that happened. All right, well, basically that happened in short terms. And he's like, hurry up, like, but I guess what's messed up is that the guy is his boyfriend, so that's that. I guess they're in a toxic relationship. So he's like, take your permit. And then Benny's just there. He's like, oh my god. And then, oh, Well, it was from here to here. It was the layout is weird. And he's like, get up, we're both going to be... Oh, no, wait, I showed you the wrong thing. Well, either way, it starts here, and he's like, get up, we're both going to be late. Yeah, right? And then here's Benny, just exhausted. And then we over here, we go back to where we just went, and he's just like, hurry up, take your permit, right? He's like, I have places to go. And then there's just Benny. This one, I also have it in full color if you want to see it in my store. Not in my store. I'm so sorry, I'm just addicted to Instagram, clearly. But if you want to see, I only did this panel thing, these two, in my Instagram. If you want to go over and see that. Alright. I'll have to unprivate my account too, I just realized that. I'll do that, don't worry. And then he's like, whatever, I don't have all day. And then Benny's just there sitting up and regret. And then Benny, he also struggles with drugs and stuff. Like, he drinks a lot and things like that. So like here, he's, besides what had just happened, he's messed up because of the drugs and whatever. He's like, oh my god. And then Florence, oh, this boyfriend name is Florence. Oh, I'm pretty sure I have a full colored one or something around here, but if I don't, I'll see. I'm not sure if I drew him in the sketchbook. And then he just left the permit on the floor. Oh my god, look, it was a Valentine's post. No, I'm sorry. No, that was not funny. Oh my god. Okay, either way. And then here we go. Now, these are not... Well, I guess they don't really come out in the story. I guess they're kind of like background characters. Or, I don't think they even really come up, like maybe once or something. So yeah, background characters. And this is Lindago, which Lindago has a twin brother, which is just Lindago. Lindago and Lindago, you know? Just, you switch like the last two, like from go to go, and that's his other brother. And then here's Warrior. I don't really like how this one came out, but I was like, yeah, it is what it is, you know? I really like how this one came out. Actually, this one's also on my Instagram, like fully digitalized, and it looks pretty neat. I might, actually, now that I think about it, I might just like edit them here somewhere, the other ones as well. So yeah, so you guys don't have to like go to Instagram. But if you're more interested about my old season stuff, I would suggest you go to my Instagram, because I'm more active over there. And I'm barely starting it here. Oh look, here's the uniforms I was saying. This is Fernando, which is this guy, right? So his uniform is just black, right? And then he has like a bunch of bows around here, very nice. And then he has like these metal gold plaques here. Oh, actually, now that I'm gonna go into his uniform, he's classified as black, and then this because he's leader off, and then between all these, like, because they are military experiments, or like just the people, or not people, but animals that work for the military and go to war with humans and stuff like that. Occasionally, like, the humans, they buy them and then have them somewhere else, right? And I guess like when they buy them, they kind of have like a little society and stuff like that, or they could go by like different, I guess like each one can choose their own little hierarchy in the place in this. And so yeah, so besides that, their little hierarchy, which is basically that live together, would have to be Benny, Braven, like all these guys that are here in this drawing, alongside with Carla and Esmeralda. Now these are not the best drawings of them, but I don't, well, I'll work on doing another drawing with them better on illustrated. So yeah, this one I don't have it full just because I was like, yeah, I don't like this. Oh, right. So like I said, all of them like live together, and they kind of have like a hierarchy of like wolves with alpha and stuff like that. And in this case, he could be, I guess, the alpha. But just like that, like I'm not saying like the Omega verse and stuff like that. So yeah, don't. Oh my god, no, just like, oh, you know, this is alpha, and then like people, you know what I mean? It's not like the Omega verse and stuff like that. And then over here we have this little drawing I was doing. Here's Red. Very nice. He usually smokes cigars. Not really, well, occasionally, yeah. He's more of a cigar than a cigarette. So that's that. And then over here, he's just in the bathtub. But then I kind of drew a shirt on him. So I was just like, okay, shower with your clothes on, you do you. And then over here, he's just like, I guess in a way, it looks like his hand is up in his mouth. So he kind of wants to vomit. So here I was just doing like little doodles and stuff. Oh look, and then over here, oh look, I also could get into the dynamic of their height. Here we have Red, and then we have Benny. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Red is originally he's 15 feet tall. I know that's tall, right? But he's a shapeshifter. He can shift. I think in this picture, no wait, would he? No, I would say he's 10, but Benny is usually 6 or 7. No, I think he is 6 feet. So I think here he might be 50. I don't remember how tall I drew him here, but supposedly he was only supposed to be up to there. You know? And here's Benny. He got out of his shift, so that's that. Oh my god, it took me forever to finish the sketchbook. Look, like this is still 2024. I don't draw like this anymore. But it's still nice. I think it's aging well. And then here's another character. I'm still working on his design, but I'll definitely like him being chubby. But as clear as you can see, I don't really draw chubby people and stuff like that. But that's something I'm changing just to have more variety and better character design. This is Truffles. He's still in the works, right? And then this is his animal he shifts into, a Lyris. Yeah, I think this is pretty nice. Like, I really like this one. And then, you know how pythons and stuff like that have like little, I'll call them like little sensors around their nose, like, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know if you know what I mean, but yeah. So he kind of has those, but like around his body, and that's pretty nice. He's usually like a dark gray, and then these things are like a grayish pink. And then here's like a close-up of the Lyris face. Very nice. I really love this. Very nice. And then I have like a little comic, I guess. And then like I had mentioned earlier that Benny does surgery and stuff like that is because he works for like this facility thing, and it's kind of messed up, but he experiments on his friend. It wasn't by choice. They just got assigned, and turns out like he has to do all this to his friend. He doesn't want to, clearly, because as you can see, he tries like his best to get anesthesia and stuff like that for him to like not suffer as much. And that whole facility thing kind of works for humans, but I guess the place is also called Human Corp. So yeah, so creative. Well, here we go. Benny's just working on this stuff, his research, and she's submitting it. But then, as I mentioned before, Benny kind of has like a drug addiction stuff. So here, like, he's just like, he puts away his computer, and then he's just looking because like his drugs are right there, and he's like, you know, like, and then out of nowhere, it's like just Red comes on. He's like, "What? When did you get here?" And he just sleeps there. Ish. And then after a while, right, I guess like here he just peeks as like past the time, and then he kind of just fell asleep, and then he's just looking over because he knows, like he tries to help Benny with his addiction to drugs and stuff like that. So after this, there's not really any more, but he kind of takes the drugs and like throws them away or disposes of them, and yeah. Oh, and then here we have back Uzi. Now, Uzi doesn't originate from, because he's not, as you can see here, he's not part of the whole of the hierarchy of these guys. He's kind of, he knows him because he's a friend and stuff. But Uzi, like, you know how I showed you earlier that they were going to war and stuff? So this guy, he used to be from the opposing side, but then he was like, he went into the Iceland, and then I guess you could say they redeemed it, but I'm not saying that these two, like, you know, these two went to war, right? Ideally, if you told me this was the good side and this was the bad side, but then he got redeemed to the bad side, you know what I mean? Oh, well, either way. Well, but he knows this is the bad side, right? But he's trying, because he realized what this guy's going through, so he's just like, what the fuck, you know? Let's just... He tries to help him out and get him out of the Iceland, but he's like, no, I want to go back to my house. Alright, he's like, I want to go back to my family. And then this guy is like, that's, you don't call that your family, you know, that they done messed up things to you, right? But here's Uzi, and before he was part of, not the Iceland, right? Before he was part of the opposing side that was fighting with the Iceland, he was enslaved somewhere else, so he still has scars. He has like a burn thing, and then like a tag that they just couldn't remove out of him. And then when he got settled into the island thing, he qualifies as purple. Now this purple, oh, this is what he has burnt on his back. The number is 58, 10, 20. And basically he's marked as a traitor because they're still suspicious of him. So that's that. Here's him. Very nice. Oh, and then here we have like a little, I'm not really gonna get into this one, but it's just some lore, I guess, that oh, you'll probably see if I do get into animation and stuff. Well, I am into animation, but sometimes I don't have the patience. And then there's just that. There's just that. And then he just gets attacked. Oh yeah, their whole mouth just splits right open. And then it just keeps going. And, you know. Oh, and this is Benny's shape. Like when he shifts, he's into... I don't think I have a good drawing here. But he's basically... Well, I've made it up, but it's something mixed. I guess you can think of it as something mixed between a spotted hyena and a saber-tooth. This is early, like, I guess, early drawings of the animal, because I have done a lot of changes to it. And then here I was doing some more concept stuff, very wonky. And then oh, this one's nice. Look, this is, oh, I'll leave it like this. And then here we have a drawing of Benny. I love this drawing till this day. It's so nice. Look at that. Wow. And then here we have Florence. We have Benny and Florence is like, forgive me. And then here we have another drawing of Florence with glasses. This is not his official design because I did change it, but some concepts are still there. And then we have Fernando and Bravian over here talking. They kind of have, well, at this point, nobody really likes Bravian. Because, like, before, Bravian had an older brother. And his older brother died, so they switched him up to Bravian. And then Fernando is like, he's just like, I guess, being a bully to him. He's like, why are you still here? You should have died instead of your brother, you know, type of thing. So, yeah. Look at him. And then over here, we have just Red and Benny. And then Red is just like, bro, stop grabbing me like that, you know, because he's grabbing me with the waist, and he's like, oh, my bad. And then here I was just doing some practices. There's Bravian, and then Becky and Bennett, which are... Benny's a triplet, so these are his other two brothers. Well, brothers just because, like, you know how... Well, I don't know if you guys know, but spotted hyenas, right? And you can't really tell them apart because they look like... The females look like males, right? Like, you know... Well, if not, you can search it up, right? But that's why they look like guys and sound, you know what I mean? Probably not. And then here we have, like, this one trendy thing. We have Bravian, and then we have Ren. So that's that one. This one is also like a trend, like an art trend thing. And then here I did Fernando and Fernan. And then over here we have Lendago, a more realistic-ish. And then I didn't finish this one. They're just sitting on a sofa. It's just Braven and Benny. I didn't really finish this. Oh wait, I can't show you that. That was like an art piece for someone. And then here we have Bravian. These are wonky doodles. And then he shifted to a well, there's two types, a Cytaurus and a Cytauros, which is he's a Cytaurus. Well, he's a mixture of a Cytaurus and a Cytaurus. So that's that. I'll probably do another sketch thing tour if you guys want, and I'll show you better drawings. So this whole animal thing. And then here's Braven and Ren. And then over here I was doing some sketches. Here's Diamante, Red's smaller brother. And then the Whirly dragon. It looks like a werewolf if you ask me, but and then here he doesn't look like this. It was just like a part this. Oh look. And then here I try to do like a more realistic type, but like how I think like, yeah, look, like how humans would at least look at them. Like I feel like they have like kind of like dog eyes and stuff like that, and their mouth is like more like, you know what I mean? Well, I hope this demonstrates. And here we have Benny. And then over here there's just Red and Benny. Nope. Not that. And then here we have just a doodle of Fernando and Red. He's like, he's trying to smile and he's like, yeah, you're almost there. And then here, how I imagine Diamante would look when he's older, because Relics have like the hair like this, kind of like ears and stuff. So I feel like when he grows it, his pattern is like one up and one down. They're very fluffy too. And then here this is, oh look, this one's kind of more well, not really, still 2024, but here's Benny. Right, when he shifts, he's like a hidden, and as you can see, here's more of the developed idea. He has more like curled or like swift teeth in a way, and like older, and like how he looks aged. Very nice. And then here we have, I guess I was practicing to draw females, and this is Domino, which is Red's girlfriend. So yeah, here I was just doing some swatches. And then here I got some acrylic markers and I was just trying them out. We have Braviant, Red, Warrior, Benny, give me the bread, and then Human Corp, where your safety is our priority, right? Who he works for, Benny, like the humans and stuff. And here's Diamante. Oh, and then over here he's just playing with the blow dryer pretty much. And here's Lindago. He has like a scar here. And then over here we just have Benny but with outgrown hair. I like this drawing. Look, this was like January the 2025, so this is right now. Very nice. And then here I have like a, oh, someone, he needs to sleep. Alright, either one. Here's Red, and then I didn't finish it, but I think Red was just offering of like to cut his hair because it is outgrown and stuff. And let me see. And then here I was doing watercolors. Now I'm not really a fan of this one. Oh look, here's the Cytaurus thing. He looks like that, and he has the sensors like a python snake too. Very fluffy. So yeah. His favorite couch. He sleeps in the couch. He has a bed, but he chooses the couch. And like, this is how he looks. He's hairy and then has some scars. Well, as you can see clearly, there has been some updates. Here he's not really hairy. Like, you would have at least seen some here. Over here he is. And then he has a bald spot right next to his belly button. This is just me trying an ink pen. And then here I was just working. And oh look, here's a better drawing of Benny's animal. Not really, but how he was when he was old, because he has the scars. But something like that. And then here we have Benny on the job. and then just red, just basically. And I think that's pretty much it. And then this is just my assignments for one of my art classes. I don't think I have much anymore. So yeah, that's it for my sketchbook tour. Pretty much. If you guys want to see more, well, actually no, I'll still show you more. Even if you don't want to see it more, I'll still show it to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, hope you guys like it.